Ruby got pregnant. The show was over. The way of life that we had created, worked like hell for, was gone. We had moved to New York. We had no money. We had no family. Hers was in Newfoundland. I didn't have a mother and father. And I had to make a living. We had a baby. And Ruby went into a big depression. She had a cesarean section, and she got a bad depression. And she went to Canada to be with her sister. And I was all alone in New York. Walking the cement streets, cement pavements. I had one friend, and I knew nobody, and I had a sick wife, and I had no money. I had no family. And I was as desperate as I could be. I had to make a living somehow. So I had a friend, an acquaintance, who had been the son of Mark Twain's lecture manager. Mark Twain's lecture manager. He was himself a lecture manager, rather well known. I've been told about him. And so I went to his office in New York. He was booking shows. And I said, Bim Pond was his name. I said, I'm wondering, Bim, if you think I could get another actress to substitute for Ruby, because by then we were making a little reputation in a small way, you know. If you think I could get a substitute actress to take over the show from Ruby. And he looked at me. He was not a smiling guy. He was a tough guy, very tough. He just looked at me. Why don't you do a solo? A solo? Yeah. Mark Twain. Go out on the stage alone? As Mark Twain? I think you could get bookings. I walked out of the streets of New York City thinking, what in the love of God in heaven? Mark Twain. I don't know how to put a show together. How am I going to do this? But I was always a driven person because I had to be. I had to drive my own car. So I walked up on the east side to the Argosy bookstore on East 58th Street near Bloomingdale's. A secondhand bookstore. And I said, where's Mark Twain? They said, upstairs on the left. I had never read one of his books. I had never read anything by Mark Twain. I played him on the stage in this sketch, but it was just a sketch. And, I didn't know anything about him. So I looked around and I said, geez, a lot of books. He wrote a lot of books. God. So I saw one named Tom Sawyer. I heard of that, so I took it home. I don't do anything from Tom Sawyer, nothing on my show, but I read it. I started reading the book, and I was feeling very discouraged about life, very discouraged about life. And about 15 minutes into reading this book about this guy, kid, I started feeling better. I thought, what the hell is going on? There's something about the way this guy writes that makes me feel better. That's the truth. So I ended up sitting down in a little dark entryway at a desk I put there in our apartment in New York City on 108th Street while Ruby was surviving the birth of our first child. And I started getting some books together, and I didn't know how to begin. I started reading. Well, that turned out to be kind of fun. So and then I read Huckleberry Finn, which is a hell of a book about racism in America. Our greatest trial by fire, racism, then and now, up to here. And something connected to me, and I saw that not only did this guy write sort of books about people that made you feel good, he also wrote books about people that made you realize how far off the track of Jesus Christ we have gone, while at the same time we pretend and say ourselves we're Christians, we're religious people. Crap. It's called hypocrisy. And it is the spear that is driven straight through the heart of America. Hypocrisy. And that was the clue. That was the theme I could see in Mark Twain's work that would connect me to today, and it has ever since. And it has carried me forward because I don't know that anybody has been able to identify the lack of courage and the lack of honesty in our society, in our country, in our world, as well as Mark Twain has.